Jim, yes, Motherwell strolled into the final yesterday, ruthlessly and clinically seeing off St Johnstone. Who will they meet in that final? We are about to find out. Semi-final day, a day to remember or a day to forget. Make it what you will, make it what you want. Well, Aberdeen named the same side that lost to Rangers, so Paul Hartley hasn't made it, but Stevie Smith has recovered from the calf injury that forced him off against his former club. Top scorer Scott Vernon plays on despite needing a hernia op. 16 goals for him and 10 for the lively Chris Maguire. Sony Aluko will actually start on the right to have a little run at Izagirre, but will then switch to the left. 7 of the 11 started the League Cup semi-final here against Celtic. And it's actually the same Celtic side that started that semi. Anthony Stokes has scored in all 4 wins over Aberdeen this season, 6 goals against them in total. Gary Hooper's over a dead leg, he's scored 4 times against Aberdeen. Thomas Rogner replaces the injured Glenn Loovens. Charlie Mulgrew faces his former club, he scored against them in the League Cup semi. Mulgrew and Biram Kayal are a yellow card away from missing the final if Celtic make it. And so is Daniel Majstorovic, who makes the bench after 5 games out with a broken toe. There's no place in the 16 for Georgios Samaras. On loan, Nick Blackman scored 10 goals for Craig Brown at Motherwell, but hasn't been anywhere near as effective at Aberdeen. Anthony Stokes has scored in his last 6 games against Aberdeen, including a hat-trick in that 9-0 thrashing. Gary Hooper also scored a hat-trick in that game. Scott Vernon scored against Celtic here in the League Cup semi-final, but Aberdeen were 4-0 down at the time. There is a 31-year age difference between the two managers. Craig Brown once tutored Neil Lennon on an Irish FA coaching course. Aberdeen need to dig deep today. Celtic have already scored 17 goals against them this season, frightening that, and it must be on their minds, however much they try not to think about it. A psychological battle to go with the football aspect, David.
Yeah, very much so. You know, I think it's absolutely vital that Aberdeen get through the first 15-20 minutes of this game undamaged. You know, so often in the recent past they've lost an early goal and folded, and they've got to find a mental strength today that they haven't demonstrated so far. Considine getting a little bit too tight here on Hooper. An early chance here for Celtic to put the ball in the box.
Charlie Mulgrew will probably take this. And Chris Commons showing interest as well. When they met in the League Cup semi here, Aberdeen were 2-0 down in 10 minutes and 4-0 down just past the half-hour mark. A calamitous collapse which must not happen again, but an early opportunity. It's Charlie Mulgrew, and it's over and out against his old club.
Well, he was always favourite to hit it. You know, he does wrap the inside of his foot around the ball really well. He's got to find either top corner to score from there, because Jamie Langfield, starting dead centre, doesn't really have much work to do to go either side.
Neil Lennon won the Scottish Cup 4 times as a player. His last game was in the 2007 final, and he was subbed by Gordon Strachan in that. That was the last time Celtic won this famous trophy. Chris Maguire could be a key player for Aberdeen today, if he's on top of his game. Playing just off Vernon, although he was just in front of him there after Vernon flicked it on, of course. Scott Brown, Wilson, Hooper, Brown.
Well, he knew that Anthony Stokes had run offside there, Scott Brown. That's why he tried to get on the end of his own pass there. Aberdeen held a good line, stepped up together. And much depending on Sonny Aluko on the ball here at the moment. If there is someone who can do a trick and find the cutting edge, it's Aluko.
Yes, Craig Brown planning to give Aluko 5 or 10 minutes on the right and then switch him to the left. It's a free kick anyway to Celtic. 34 times Celtic have won the Scottish Cup. That's a record, one more than guess who. Scott Brown grounded. Aberdeen advancing with Milson initially, and now McGuinness. And Chris Maguire has pounced on it.
Well, McGuinness did well. I don't think he's going to beat Foster at the narrow side there, but uncharacteristic spill there from the Celtic goalkeeper, almost letting Aberdeen in. I've got to say that initially I thought Scott Brown was fouled by Stevie Smith. Neil Lennon might have had plenty to say about that had Aberdeen scored there.
Aberdeen's players may well need to have the game of their lives today if they are to topple Celtic. But even that might not be enough. It's such a big ask. Fumble from Fraser Forster though, almost gave them a glimpse of goal. Hooper, Commons, who scored against Aberdeen here on his Celtic debut in that League Cup tie. Thomas Rogner replacing the injured Glenn Lubens. Wilson up to Stokes. McGuinness. Milson. Stevie Smith, who hobbled off against Rangers.
Well, nervous start here for the Celtic goalkeeper. McGuinness does well to shift it onto his right side. I think he's choked the shot. I don't think he's trying to score near post. But Forster spilled it, not the start the Celtic goalkeeper was looking for.
Celtic are hot favourites to win this. They've already beaten Aberdeen 4 times this season, including a 9-0 thumping in the SPL, a 3-0 win at Pittodrie, and a 4-1 hammering here in that League Cup clash. Chris Commons. Hooper and Stokes in there, but Stokes' header is wayward.
Terrific chance. What a delivery from Chris Commons. And there is the early warning here for Aberdeen. They can't afford to give Commons this kind of room and this kind of time to throw the ball in, because he bends it away from the goalkeeper so well. Langfield can't come for that.
Chris Commons went out to the English FA Cup with Derby at Crawley and missed a penalty in that game. Will he get to play in the Scottish Cup final? McGuinness for Smith. McGuinness wasn't quite ready for the return, therefore Wilson first to it.
It's okay, it's the kind of ball that, you know, that puts defenders under pressure and makes them turn. Just got to find a belief that so often they've lacked in the recent past, Aberdeen. And individually, if they're all on their game today, they have the players to give Celtic a real game of it.
Aluko taking on Izagirre, and he's got away from Izagirre. Sony Aluko, cleared by Mulgrew. Encouragement for Aberdeen. That's why they started him on the right. Derek Young will drill this across. Joe Ledley blocked it, and then it's Mulgrew.
Well, a bit of early encouragement for Aberdeen, particularly down the right-hand side. Derek Young getting forward, going beyond Aluko. And just to start the Craig Brown would have wanted. The last thing that Craig Brown needs today is for Aberdeen to lose an early one.
There's Hamden inside out after 8 years as manager of Scotland. Stevie Smith won now. Kyle stretching. Wilson stops it, reaching Vernon. Smith. Mulgrew. Izagirre.
Good ball.
Chris Commons with Hooper making moves. It's a foul by Aluko. Diamond closed in as well.
It's not a bad free kick to give away though. Commons breaking into really good space. Lovely ball from Izagiri to get Commons goal side of the Aberdeen midfield here. And that's not a bad free kick to give away.
Emilio Izagiri. Maguire. It's a clear barge by Mulgrew on Vernon.
Oh, I knew the challenge was coming. Scott Vernon got his feet off the ground. Quite happy to go to ground, get Aberdeen up the pitch here.
Today's winners will return here in 34 days to meet Motherwell in the Scottish Cup final. Hooper. Derek Young onto that. McGuinness now.
I never got a hold of it again. Not unlike his strike from the other side with his right foot. Chokes this again into the ground. He does well. He's got a nice stride about him to make the space. Got to do a little bit better.
He has now moved to the right with Aluko on the left. Vernon. Derek Young covering it right back again in the absence of some players. Maguire, snuffed out by Mulgrew.
Chance to put the ball in the box in here to the near post, and Vernon offers him a very decent target here.
Smith kept it in. Aluko. Milson, who joined from Fulham in January. Dispatched by Thomas Rogner. On to 9 for Smith. Now Milson. It's come off Vernon. Aberdeen come into this semi-final on the back of 4 straight defeats since they won the quarter-final replay against St Mirren. Celtic, of course, were in the Scottish Cup semi-finals last season as well. They lost to Ross County here, but such has been the transformation under Neil Lennon. Only Scott Brown of the 11 out there today started that semi-final a year ago. Izagiri. Commons. Stokes. He's already had a look for Hooper. Considine keeping an eye. Joe Ledley. Brown ran into Smith.
Considine did well there. I think he's got cover there from Stevie Smith as the switch was made for Hooper. Stevie Smith aware that he had to tuck in there. Celtic starting to play though.
Commons. It's cleared by Derek Young. Mulgrew mopping up. Izagiri. Commons. It's away for a corner by Xander Diamond.
Well, again, he got the cross in, Chris Commons. Ryan Jack's got to get a little bit tighter and make sure that doesn't come across the face.
Commons corner. Anxious moment for Aberdeen. Panic over for now.
Not quite sure why Anthony Stokes didn't get that on target there. Jamie Langfield thought about coming for it, changed his mind, and Stokes looked, well, odds-on favourite back post. He was up early, made it his.
Stokes challenging. Scott Brown spotted the invisible man. Milson. Aluko for Jack. Just 19 years of age, Ryan Jack.
He's going! He's going! He's not right there, eh?
Derek Young was at Dunfermline when they lost the 2004 final to Celtic, and he also lost a League Cup final to them with Dunfermline. Wilson. And Stokes is in. It's Anthony Stokes! And Langfield makes a crucial save.
Terrific chance. Xander Diamond has to offer better cover here. He's the one who can see the ball being played. He's the one who can see the run. Watch Xander Diamond here. And he just allows. He allows the striker to run into the space there. He has to get tighter. Lovely ball by Wilson, dropped in behind. Aberdeen playing pretty high at the moment. It's a terrific chance.
Commons corner. It's going to veer away from Brown.
Well, this is a very decent save from Jamie Langfield, but he shouldn't have been left this badly exposed. The ball takes Considine out the game, but Xander Diamond, who's on the opposite side of the pitch, he can see the ball being played by Mark Wilson, and he can see the run. He has to match the run.
Xander Diamond wearing the captain's armband today, contract up at the end of the season, and he is set to leave Aberdeen after a long association with them. And the word is he'll be heading to Hearts. Smith. Maguire. Aluko waiting. Got his cross into Vernon.
Good ball. Couldn't have played it in any earlier there. Chris Maguire did really well because he could have given this up. Managed to keep it in. Well, strikers always screaming for it to be played in early, and Aluko really couldn't have delivered it any earlier than he did there. It's a little bit high for Vernon.
They're hoping to produce more of that, Aberdeen. They have just about safely negotiated the opening quarter of an hour, something they failed miserably to do in the League Cup semi back here in January. Kyle is flattened and gets the free kick. Had he not missed 3 months of this season through injury, Bieran Kyle, surely he would have been a stick-on nominee for the Player of the Year award.
Without doubt. I think the worry for Celtic supporters would be that Celtic get an offer in the summer that they can't refuse. A terrific fight.
Brown. Ogru. Izagirre. Commons hugging the touchline. Spinning away from Derek Young, but Langfield will collect it.
That's a good ball. And Anthony Stokes just caught on his heels at the back post. It's into a very good area. I think Derek Young has to get to Chris Commons a little bit quicker than he is right now. If you allow Commons to get the fullback squared up and allow him running at you, you're going to be in bother.
Guinness. Young for Diamond, who grew up supporting Celtic and trained with them. Considine. Stevie Smith. Lockwood turns away from Maguire. Wilson. Stokes' presence unnerving Diamond somewhat. Bounced off Hooper.
Good defending by Charlie Mulgrew. Vernon reckons he's climbing, but that's good defending.
Izagirre. Joe Ledley. Bieran Kyle. Scott Brown now. looking to make it happen for Gary Hooper, who goes down. And what's the decision going to be here? It is a red card and a penalty. And Aberdeen's semi-final takes a major turn for the worse.
Well, it's a major decision for Willie Collum to make. The question here, is there any cover? I don't think there's any doubt it is a penalty. Lovely ball threaded through for Hooper. He is caught and there is no cover. No question he's caught there by Considine. Trying to tuck in and narrow it. Lovely ball by Scott Brown. I don't think there is any cover, and I don't think Willie Collum, regardless of what we all think of this rule, I don't think Willie Collum has a choice there.
Andy Considine sent off, and Anthony Stokes ready to step up here. Aberdeen will feel rather hard done by. It always seems to go wrong for them against Celtic. Here comes Stokes. Langfield makes the save. Terrific from Langfield.
Well, it's a great save, but it's also terrific reaction from the Aberdeen players who followed the penalty in. Xander Diamond, I think, who was first on it.
Commons takes the corner. Scott Brown's header may have to be rescued.
Oh, he took it off the head of Charlie Mulgrew. Charlie Mulgrew looked in a very good position to get his head on that. Scott Brown took it off his head. Well, Jamie Langfield goes early and goes the right way, but look at the reaction of Xander Diamond. Well, he's a yard off his line, but most of them are these days, and you wouldn't grudge Aberdeen that break. Down to 10 men. No question that this is a rule that FIFA have to look at. See so many games spoiled by this.
Just as they had negotiated the opening period, Craig Brown's Aberdeen find themselves a man down, and Chris Commons floating this in, and Langfield is going to get a free kick.
Well, I think he's fortunate. Didn't see much in it there. He's not trying to punch this, Jamie Langfield. He's trying to take it into his gloves. Well, he takes a knock from Scott Brown, but there's very little in it. Well, this is the moment. No question he catches Hooper's right angle there, Considine. Good save from Jamie Langfield. Really awkward tight for him. Could have slipped under his glove.
Major blow for Aberdeen, who always find the going tough against Celtic. They've never met.
Yeah, Ryan Jack back to right back at the moment. Derek Young into the central area besides Xander Diamond. But it does leave him a man light further up the pitch. And Celtic are going to enjoy a huge amount of possession now.
Well, in the last league encounter between these teams, Andrew Considine was also sent off, and he only lasted to the second minute of that match. A bit longer this time, but another red card. Dismay for Aberdeen. Stokes has scored in his last 6 games against Aberdeen, but he blew his big chance to add to that remarkable run, although I'm sure he'll be coming back for more. Chris Maguire's offside.
Just gone a little bit early there, Chris Maguire. It's just going to be a thankless shift for Maguire, because I think Vernon will drop off now, play a little bit deeper, help out his midfield. Maguire will be the one who will be asked to run the channels.
Brown Hooper. Feeding Stokes. Smothered by Langfield with assistance from Xander Diamond. Xander Diamond first to react once Langfield had saved that penalty. So it stays 0-0. Lennon prowling the touchline again after his long ban. Zagiri. Strange one to Mulgrew, who gives him a big shout back.
Yeah, I didn't want to, did he? Certainly not at that pace, that height.
Vernon. Commons.
Good defending by Diamond there. Really tight on Commons.
Maluko. Well, he's going to progress here. Shadowed by Ledley. Ledley made the challenge.
It's the type of run they're going to require from Maluko now, though.
Hooper now could give it to Stokes. He does just that. Stokes! Langfield makes the save, and Diamond is there again first.
Well, I think Ryan Jack does the right thing. He shows Anthony Stokes the outside. He knows that the narrower angle is from the outside there. And it's a save you'd have expected Jamie Langfield to make.
Wilson went for the return. Nilsson.
Well, half chance here for Anthony Stokes, but I think Ryan Jack, the youngster now, playing right back, does the right thing. He shows Stokes the narrow side, and that's not a shot you'd expect to beat Jamie Langfield.
Kyle. This is the third time this season that Aberdeen have had to play with 10 men against Celtic. Paul Hartley, out injured today, was sent off in that 9-0 game. Considine sent off twice against the men in hoops. Tough task for Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Just became tougher.
Well, it just changes the whole shape of the game. Aberdeen now have one up, which means that Celtic always have a spare centre-back. They've always got cover, which should make it a lot easier for Izagiri and Wilson to go forward. You know, with two up front and the two Celtic centre-backs occupied, then the two Celtic full-backs would have been a little bit more reluctant to go forward. Now they can go forward anytime they want. Celtic still have the cover of the spare defender.
Aberdeen a man down, but it could have been worse. There could have been a goal down. Anthony Stokes penalty, saved by Jamie Langfield. Goes against Stokes and in favour of Young. Ledley taking a knock. Scored both goals in the quarter-final win at Inverness. Ledley also scored here in the League Cup final for Celtic against Rangers. Nilsson, and Maguire's header sticks with Forster.
Lovely run from Chris Maguire inside Mark Wilson there. It's a good ball and he must be, what, 10 yards out. By the time he gets his head on this, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got to find the inside of either post to score from there. He's unlucky.
Hooper. Gave it away dreadfully to Aluko. Wilson. Guire. Vernon. Aluko. This is Ryan Jack. Derek Young.
That's the problem. When the ball was launched forward, even if Chris Maguire wins that against Ronja, there's not a red jersey within 20 yards of him. It just affects the whole thinking of the Aberdeen side here now.
Scott Brown. He's never getting to that.
And the other thing that the sending off of Andrew Considine, the other problem it gives Aberdeen is, you know, that they'll miss his height in either box at set pieces. Derek Young is not the biggest. Craig Brown has the option, of course. Vujadinovic on the bench, who could come in there.
Anfield has seen 17 Celtic goals fly past him this season. Probably feels he was due that penalty save. Come off Maguire. Wilson. Brown ahead of him. Now inside. Here is the Israeli who's been a revelation. Mulgrew. Guinness.
Here's the problem. Getting out now for Aberdeen. Only Chris Maguire up the pitch. And it's going to be so difficult to bring him into the game. He's not the biggest. He's certainly a willing runner.
Ryan Jack. It's won by Mulgrew. Vernon nearly presented to Rogner. Now Wilson. Brown. Kyle. Mulgrew for Izagirre. Commons. Kyle, who used to watch Isle Perkovic playing for Celtic. Fellow countryman. Launched by Mulgrew, away by Smith, but only to Brown. Wilson now for Kyle. Anthony Stokes. Joe Bentley has made Wilson work for that. Mulgrew. Kyle, Brown. Everyone behind the ball for Aberdeen. Izagirre. Commons. Releasing Izagirre. This could be promising for Celtic. Admirably defended by Xander Diamond and horribly miscued by Scott Brown.
Yeah, McGuinness has just got to be a little bit more aware there of Izagirre getting down the line. He's caught with the ball inside him here. And the fullback delivers so well from that type of angles. Diamond did well front post.
Celtic unbeaten in their last 9 encounters with Aberdeen. last beat Celtic a couple of years ago. 4-2, Xander Diamond scored a double that day. Stevie Smith is going to be summoned to Willie Collum.
Yeah, yellow card, I think. Well, Willie Collum done him a favour. It's the follow-through here that caused the damage. Just gets away from Stevie Smith here. Oh, he's lucky.
Izaguirre. Commons. Kyle. Stokes return. Vernon. Smith, who played in 2 semi-finals for Rangers and won them both, but then didn't figure in the finals. Nedley. Commons.
Keep it, Puff. Keep moving it, Brady. Sorry, early.
Kyle. Brown. Could bring Wilson into it. Does. Kyle. Wilson. Ledley. Celtic taking another route via Izaguirre. Commons.
It's almost like a training exercise, and we can expect this pattern for what remains of this game as well.
Teams met in that League Cup semi-final here at this particular point of the match. Aberdeen had just gone 4-0 down. Izaguirre. Commons. Away by Diamond, but only to Kyle.
Now look how deep Sonny Aluko is. Does well in this situation, but he's not going to hurt Celtic. He's, what, 70 yards from their goal. And that's the problem that Aberdeen have now, getting up the pitch.
Chris Commons. And Josh McGuinness lunging in.
Yeah, it's a forward challenge, isn't it? Poor first touch from Chris Commons. That's what tempted McGuinness in.
Brown for Wilson. Brown again. Stokes involved. Brown, Wilson. No escape for Aberdeen yet. Brown's cross. Steered away by Jack, but only to Izaguirre. Who's ready to return it. And Stevie Smith took it away from Stokes.
Oh, Izaguirre at his very best. And you know, he just refuses to throw in a lazy ball from here. He's always looking for a better angle. He's got the change of pace to get to the byline. And what a good cross he provides.
He was watched by a few English Premier League clubs, Emilio Izaguirre, before joining Celtic. They might be having another look at him now. Mulgrew's corner. Easy take for Langfield.
Yeah, neither front nor back post from Charlie Mulgrew.
Maguire, a rather lonesome figure. Joe Ledley. Izaguirre. Ledley. Brown. Wilson available again. Derek Young heads that away. Brown. Stokes. Kyle. Brown. Chris Commons can do better.
Well, even on his right side, you know, he can go either side, Chris Commons. It's a bit of a miss-hit, this. But he is capable, even from that kind of range, and that's the real gift of Chris Commons. He can go either side.
Coming later from the Barclays Premier League, always a standout fixture. It's Arsenal against Liverpool on Sky Sports HD 1 and available in 3D from 3. Aberdeen's 10 men hanging in there. Andrew Considine sent off against Celtic for the second time this season. Even so, patience may have to be a virtue for Celtic as they try to breach Aberdeen's defence. Izagirre. Commons, Brown was arriving, Stokes is there, and Stevie Smith in the right place.
Terrific intervention. Once again, it's McGuinness, the right midfield player of Aberdeen, who's allowing Commons to run off him, though.
Just keep pumping it. Keep pumping it. Stay concentrated, Charlie. Get round, Charlie.
Izagirre. Stokes. Brown trying to get to it. In the end, it's Derek Young who booted it away. Cooper. Brown's cross. Joe Ledley's header.
Well, he took up good position there, Joe Ledley. Hooper and Stokes had made for the 6-yard box. He just held his position here. Actually checks out towards the penalty spot. He's got a lot to do there. This is the back post intervention here from Stevie Smith. Chris Commons allowed all the time in the world to deliver, and Stevie Smith reacted well at the back post. This has become a bit of a desperate rearguard action here already for Aberdeen. The sending off is, well, I mean, the Celtic supporters won't be complaining, but it's ruined the game as a contest. Aberdeen came down here to play, 2 up front. Aluko in the wide left position, come to try and make a game of it. And the whole game plan has been turned upside down with the sending off. And you do wonder if a yellow card and a penalty, I mean, is that not sufficient?
Definitely. Brown, 70 now. A goal kick anyway. I know Aberdeen wanted a free kick.
Ryan Jack feels he was taken off the ball here by Stokes. I think it's accidental.
He had a bit to say to Stokes about it anyway. It's 10 years since Jamie Langfield kept a clean sheet against Celtic. In his Dundee days. Maguire for Vernon. Could Aberdeen have a say towards the end of the half? Ryan Jack. And Vernon returns it. And they've got a corner.
Well, a better ball by Vernon, and Ryan Jack is in a much better position to cross. Heavy pass from Vernon, sent him right to the corner flag, but this will be Aberdeen's best chance now. Set pieces, and Chris Maguire has to find the right cross here.
It's Aberdeen's first corner. Chris Maguire for Xander Diamond, but it's over his head.
I think he lost it. The sun was totally unmarked at the back post there. You can see by the shadow there, the sun right in his face, totally unmarked.
Ledley. Mulgrew with a run full of intent.
Well, that's what Charlie Mulgrew can do now that Aberdeen are down to 10 men, just one up front. And Mulgrew can step off the back anytime he likes now. And he is good enough to step into the midfield and pick a pass.
Charlie Mulgrew left Aberdeen at the end of last season and found himself back at his former club Celtic. He has looked fairly accomplished as a centre-half, apart from that match at Motherwell where he had a bit of a mare. Happens to us all. And Maguire close to each other for now at least, but it's drifted away from the game.
Yeah, but I think when Aberdeen have a chance to knock it back to front, then Vernon has to go up alongside Maguire. But when they lose it, you know, he'll drop off into the midfield. Just try and make that midfield area for Ledley and Kyle as congested as possible.
Izagirre. Mulgrew. Wilson. Over towards Hooper. He'll have much to do. He's going to go for a Celtic corner.
Well, Ryan Jack got there eventually. You know, that's a problem because Derek Young is not the biggest, you know, to defend that type of back post ball. And young Ryan Jack did well to tuck in and narrow there.
Commons corner. He'll decided to come. That's Maguire now. He's got the free kick.
Well, he had possession, but I think Willie Collum does the right thing by pulling it back because Chris Maguire had nowhere to go there. Does get Aberdeen up the pitch. Again, from this type of situation, Vernon has to go right up against the two Celtic centre-backs and try and win the first ball here. McGuinness coming in as well.
Rockner deals with it. Fouled by Milson on Kyle.
Oh, soft, really soft. He's every right to put his foot in there.
Robert Milson only ever played once for Fulham in the Premier League, but it was at Old Trafford against Manchester United. It's half-time in Hampden. Anthony Stokes' penalty saved by Jamie Langfield. Aberdeen playing against 10 men against Celtic for the third time this season, though, after Willie Collum was left with little option but to send off Andy Considine. But it's been largely frustrating since for Celtic as they pursue a goal at the break in this Scottish Cup semi-final at Hampden Park. It is Aberdeen 0, Celtic 0. Well, Anthony Stokes has actually rattled in a few penalties against Aberdeen this season, but that was the second one that Jamie Langfield has saved against him this season. So it remains goalless, but one significant note, Aberdeen down to 10 men for the third time this season against Celtic. And Considine sends off for the second time against them. 17 goals have been scored past Jamie Langfield by Celtic this season. They haven't been able to find one today. Can Aberdeen hold out and offer the occasional threat themselves? It's going to be a big ask in this second 45 minutes, that is for sure. But Aberdeen so far can be pretty pleased with their rearguard action, David.
Yeah, they've done well. You just wonder whether they can see it out there. And you know, a lot of football left in this game. They're bound to tire. Certainly this young man, Chris Maguire, has a huge job to do up front. He's playing against the Celtic back four on his own now at times. And if Craig Brown and his boys pull this one off, this is going to be some result for them.
It is Aberdeen who start the second half with their 10 men. They knew they would have to dig deep with 11 men. They They're certainly going to have to dig deeper with 10, but so far so good in that respect. Although will Celtic raise the tempo? Every chance. Mulgrew. Izagirre against Josh McGuinness.
He's got to be more aware of Josh McGuinness. You know, Commons and Izagirre are making those little crossover runs. And they're getting a lot of room down that side, and much of it, I think, is down to McGuinness not following the runner, not going with the runner. He's thinking like a forward, not like a defender.
Celtic haven't actually beaten Aberdeen in Glasgow in the Scottish Cup since the 1967 final. Scott Vernon has had to drop back. Commons, Kyle, Izagirre. Gary Hooper, Stokes, and Hooper is in again, and Landfill blocks it.
Oh, could he have hit it earlier? The final touch, did he need the final touch? Love the little 1-2. Just takes Xander Diamond right out the game here. Could have hit it there. Well, maybe not. Maybe Aluko was squeezing him.
It's Mark Wilson to take this corner. Ledley's effort blocked by Aluko. Commons returns it, but it fizzes well wide.
Yeah, it's a good ball. I don't think he's trying to score, he's just trying to smash this into the mix here, Chris Commons. Hoping that someone gets a touch on it, just trying to help onto the target. This is the earlier save here from Langfield. I think Aluko does well, otherwise Hooper would have hit it earlier.
Aberdeen have had a bit of luck in the Scottish Cup this season. They got a 92nd minute own goal to get past Dunfermline, and they scored a 93rd minute equaliser at St Mirren to force a replay. They might need a little more luck today in this semi-final.
I'm not surprised that Celtic have been busier in front of goal, and that is only going to continue. Aberdeen just have to accept they're not going to see an awful lot of the ball.
Kyle. Wilson. Collision course with Milson, who's going to receive a yellow card.
It's just a clumsy touch here from Beram Kyle. Gets away from him here. Gets there just in front of Milson.
They will miss the final if Aberdeen make it.
He actually tries to pull out of that.
So he won't get to play in the final, but the final probably seems a long way away for Aberdeen just now. Even though it's still goalless, they have 10 men. It's quite a crowd scene. Mulgrew sends it in, Stokes tried the flick! Celtic ahead early in the second half. Mulgrew claiming it. They've got their breakthrough.
Well, we see that continually, goalkeepers being wrong-footed. And there's no doubt that Langfield, what he hears is that someone gets a header on this. Does Stokes get a nick on it? He may well have. But Langfield, I think, is expecting that someone to get a header, to go back onto his left-hand side. Well, look at the movement Charlie Mulgrew gets in the ball, and I don't think Stokes gets anything on it. But it's a horrible ball for Jamie Langfield to try and anticipate.
Typical, eh? His 2 goals for Celtic have both come against his former club, Aberdeen, and they've both come here at Hampden Park. Scored in the League Cup semi, scores in the Scottish Cup semi, because it didn't look like there was any contact from Stokes. Kyle. Stokes now for Hooper. And Commons runs it to Willie Collum. Comedy moment. Shouldn't he get a yellow card for obstruction?
Well, Chris Commons doesn't see the funny side of it, and neither do the Celtic supporters, because Commons was in a decent position to get a shot away or a cross away.
Blatant from the ref, that. Aberdeen did so well to see that first half out, but it didn't take Celtic long to score in the second half. They've upped the ante, they've raised their game, and they've raised the stakes. Here is Commons, managing to evade Willie Collum this time. Izagirre. Joe Ledley. Sums up the way it's gone for Aberdeen against Celtic this season. Another red card, and Charlie Mulgrew scoring against him yet again, their former player. Brown for Hooper. Hooper for Stokes. And it's diverted for a corner.
Oh, Stevie Smith did well. He just threw his body in front of that. All of a sudden, Celtic just starting to pick holes in Aberdeen, starting to find a little bit more space than they did in the first half.
Wilson's corner.
Should do better, Rodney. Should do better. He's under a little bit of pressure, but he's always favourite front post. Good corner from Mark Wilson, plenty of pace on it. Should be getting that on target.
Well, he did score against Aberdeen here as well in the League Cup semi. Likewise Mulgrew. And they were both playing at centre-half on that day too. Mulgrew rubbing it in for his old club. The 18th goal Celtic have scored against Aberdeen this season. Half of them came in one match. Hooper. Ledley. Stokes. Blocked by Milson. Scott Brown.
Well, is this Charlie Mulgrew's goal, or is Anthony Stokes going to try and claim it? I think it's Charlie Mulgrew's. The spin of the ball, there's no alteration at all in the spin here. That's Charlie Mulgrew's for me. Really awkward one for Jamie Langfield. I just wonder if Aberdeen might have defended it a little bit higher. You know, by the time the ball came in, they were right on top of Langfield. And the goalkeeper always worried that someone's going to get a nick on it.
Hooper. Stopped by Diamond. The foul on Maluko by Wilson.
Well, Scott Vernon's in no hurry to get forward, but they really need him further up the pitch at the moment to give them some kind of target.
Aberdeen a man down, and now a goal down. Langfield towards McGuinness. Stevie Smith having to react, sold a little short. Brown left Motherwell for Aberdeen in December amid rather acrimonious circumstances.
Well, you can't legislate for the sending off. It's just turned his game plan on its head here. It's going to be difficult enough for Aberdeen with 11. Celtic fans reckon it's over already.
Well, they'll be feeling they're due a Scottish Cup final. It's going to be Motherwell against Celtic. Motherwell, of course, beat Celtic Fir Park not so long ago. Collins pulled that back for a free kick, and he wants a word with Scott Brown.
Quite sure what happened here, whether he had a tug at Stevie Smith as the ball was knocked back to Langfield. Scott Brown trying to pressurise. Don't see a great deal in it.
Scott Brown, 3 times a semi-final loser here in the Scottish Cup, twice with Hibs, then with Celtic last season. The only survivor from last season's semi-final, starting this one. Maguire is offside.
Oh, must have been really tight, really tight. I thought he made a very good run there, Chris Maguire, just anticipating that Aberdeen are going to win the first ball. Yeah, it's a yard off. But the right idea, he's just got to assume that Aberdeen are going to win the first ball.
Brian McGarry got one wrong last week at Hamilton with Jelic, but got that right, the assistant referee. Stokes. Ledley! 2-0! And Joe Ledley has surely put this semi-final out of Aberdeen's reach.
Well, it's just where you want your midfield support. It's the timing of the run. Stokes could have blasted this across the face, and he just plays it into an area where he's hoping a midfield runner is going to be. Ledley times his run perfectly. Not the cleanest strike you're going to see. He hits it into the ground a little bit, but the accuracy is such that Langfield's never getting across there. And Celtic, after 57 minutes, looking very, very comfortable now.
He scored both goals in the quarter-final at Inverness. He scored here at Hampden in the League Cup final, but Celtic lost that particular trophy that day. The Scottish Cup is in their sights now, though. An air of predictability, perhaps, that Neil Lennon's side have flexed their muscles within the first quarter of an hour of this second half, after toiling a little against the 10 men in the first half. It's speeded things up. Aberdeen are going to bring on Nick Blackman, who's on loan from Blackburn. Milson. Maguire. Will go for goal. Forster has to recover. Good effort from Chris Maguire.
Took a big move in front of the Celtic goalkeeper. Danger there was a spill, but this is the catch-22 for Aberdeen. If they do overcommit, they're liable to get caught in the counter-attack.
Commons now. Stokes. Hooper. Overplayed a little. Aberdeen believe that their misery did not increase then. Looks like Paddy McCourt will be coming on for Celtic. Likewise Nick Blackman for Aberdeen. Maguire doing well again on his own. They'll get a free kick.
Well done, young man. Did really well. That's all he's going to get there. You know, once he gets into the left channel, there's nobody on in the central area. It has to turn out, and he's got Aberdeen a free kick in a very decent position here. And Aberdeen need more of the type of spirit that we're seeing here from Chris Maguire.
They need a quick reply, without a doubt. They need a break in front of goal here, big time. Maguire takes it, easily cleared by Wilson. Aluko. Both teams will shortly make a change on the hour. Commons. Kyle Hooper, who we think might be about to be replaced He's going to latch onto that from Wilson, though. Xander Diamond across.
Just looking more and more stretched to Aberdeen. It's been a rearguard action from the moment Andrew Considine left the game.
Rick Blackman scored a stack of goals from Motherwell under Craig Brown in the first half of the season, but he's only scored once since linking up with Brown again at Aberdeen on loan from Blackburn. He's taken the place of Josh McGuinness. Gary Hooper is going to come off for Celtic to allow Paddy McCaw. In fact, that's not happening. It's going to be Biran Kyle, and that might have something to do with the fact that he is on a yellow card, and another one would have ruled him out of the final.
Yeah, sensible decision, isn't it? Just one mistimed challenge away from missing the final. 2-0 up, makes sense.
Wilson's corner, off the head of Rogner.
Well, again, that's a decent chance. Just wonder if he lost it in the sun again, but he's getting a lot of space in that area from set pieces, Thomas Rogner.
Luco. Wilson. Incidentally, Charlie Mulgrew is also on a yellow card, but he has to be careful. Stokes closing in on goal. Willie Collum is giving another penalty.
Well, it's a tough decision for the referee to make because he is blindside when Derek Young goes to ground. I just wonder what Willie Collum's angle is to call us. It's a heavy touch from Stokes. Yeah, it's a penalty. And I think Anthony Stokes is running out of grass here. I don't think that's a challenge that Derek Young has to make.
Anthony Stokes, having had his penalty saved by Jamie Langfield, the second time that's happened this season, is leaving this one for Chris Commons. Here comes Commons! Perfect penalty. It's the 20th goal that Celtic have scored against Aberdeen this season, and they are staring at a place in the Scottish Cup final now.
Well, a much better penalty from Chris Commons. He's got the power. Even if Jamie Langfield goes the right way, you do well to get his hand down on that. Just closed his foot on it at the last moment, Chris Commons. And this game really starting to get away from Aberdeen now.
Chris Commons scoring his 20th goal of the season as well. 13 for Derby, 7 for Celtic. Goals for Celtic against Aberdeen this season. Chris Commons scored on his debut here against them in the League Cup semi. Colin wants a word with Derek Young, I think. Commons. Feeling for Aberdeen against Celtic. And then there's always going to be hard work with 10 men.
Yeah.
I get the feeling with 11 they might have made more of a match of it. They have improved since that dreadful 9-0, but they keep going down to 10 men against Celtic. 3 times this season it's happened. Scott Brown won it back. Paddy McCaw now. The flag stays down. Stokes has got Commons waiting, and he's missed extraordinarily.
I think he has to lift it because Jamie Langfield comes out and he's right in his face. Commons timed his run perfectly. This out to in run. I think it's Ryan Jack who tries to get up, doesn't get up quickly enough. Good feed across from Stokes. And he knows Langfield's on his way here, Chris Commons. He's just trying to dink it over him. The ball is on the up. He just gets the bottom of the ball there.
Derek Young is going to be replaced by the Montenegrin defender, Nikola Vujadinovic. I'm sure Craig Brown might have been tempted to bring him on when Considine was sent off. He didn't do that, but he does see some action now. He's on loan from the Italian club Udinese. Still 25 minutes left. Celtic may dishing out another hammering against Aberdeen. Stokes caught. Brown. Scottish Cup semi-finals this weekend haven't exactly been the most competitive, but Motherwell and Celtic aren't complaining too much about that.
Well, it's a good position for Neil Lennon to be in, though, you know, given the important games that lie ahead here. In terms of, he can rest one or two. Make a few substitutions if he wants.
Nick Blackman just on and securing a free kick off Ledley.
Joe Ledley reckoned that Blackman had his arm across his body first. I think he had a case there, right arm was up. Ledley doesn't do much wrong there.
Maguire will take this free kick, and he switched it to Robert Milson, who's lifted it across well, but evaded Vujadinovic. Vernon has to rescue it. Aluko. Looking to make something happen, but Izagirre soon stopped him in his tracks. Quarter of the game remaining. Sean Maloney, who's just returned after 4 months out, will be joining us soon. Stokes. Free kick for Stokes, and Xander Diamond is going to receive a yellow card.
Well, there's nothing in this for Anthony Stokes by getting involved. He's got the free kick. Diamond's been given a yellow card. Stokes has just got to get himself out of there. This game is more or less won now for Celtic, and the last thing Anthony Stokes needs is a yellow card.
Sean Maloney came on as a sub in the last 2 games as well, after 4 months out with an ankle injury. This is actually his first Scottish Cup appearance for a couple of years. He hasn't scored a Scottish Cup goal for 9 years. He did go off to Aston Villa for a while, in fairness to him. Joe Ledley on the score sheet. Be the man to make way. He is becoming a bit of a goal-scoring specialist in the Scottish Cup lately. Sean Maloney has never lost in 17 outings against Aberdeen. I don't think he's about to start now somehow.
I just wonder if Joe Ledley's injured there. He's taken a long time to come off the pitch. If there's a muscle injury of some kind.
Well, it will be a worry. Celtic had a midweek match before the Old Firm game.
He's holding his left hamstring, which would obviously be a worry for Neil Lennon.
A good shiner as well by the look of it. McCourt. Brown. Stokes let it go. Diamond should beat Commons to it though. He's presented it to Izagirre. Stokes. Maloney made a dash into the box. Maguire. Blackman.
I just can't get out now, Aberdeen. Bit of tiredness setting in as well, and looking a little bit disillusioned, a little bit sorry for themselves. They've just got to hang in there. It's going to be a long 20 minutes for them.
Maloney. Gary Hooper running onto this, but Langfield falls in this time.
Oh, what a pass from Sean Maloney. Beautiful disguise in this ball from Sean Maloney. He's closed his foot on it. Lovely offer from Hooper. Just a little bit light with the touch, trying to get it past Langfield.
Into the last 20 minutes. It will be a long 20 minutes for Aberdeen. Maguire. Smith. Vernon. Milson. Aluko. Wide from Aluko.
Good effort, really good effort. He's got the tricks to make the space. Doesn't need anyone to set him up, he can do it himself. A little step over to lose Charlie Mulgrew to get onto his left side.
Rogner, the Norwegian defender signed by Tony Mowbray. Maloney slips it through for Stokes. Langfield has to commit again, and Stokes unable to find Hooper.
Again, lovely pass slipped into the channel. Once again, Jamie Langfield did really well to sweep there.
Court sorts out Maguire.
Good defending.
Mulgrew for Izagirre. Stokes. Commons. Oh, takes over. Brown. Wilson. Celtic on easy street now. Celtic fans will get to go to a Scottish Cup final again. First time since 2007. That celebration becoming rather popular. Manchester City fans copied it from Poland. Izagirre.
It's not the best ball from Izagirre, but just getting back to the point that Charlie made at half-time, Celtic have made the pitch as wide as possible in the second half, and that has opened up the channels, particularly the left channel, where Stokes in particular has been getting into. Just becoming a little bit stretched across the back now, Aberdeen.
Paddy McCourt. Commons, Hooper. Bobbled a bit from Maloney. He still had a smack at it up.
Nothing on here for Jamie Langfield. He looked to release early, but absolutely nothing on for him.
Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. Strolled in the park now for Celtic. And Anthony Stokes is going to go for goal. Hooper arrives.
Good idea. Could have hit it first time with his right foot there, Anthony Stokes. Played onside by Diamond. He didn't get up in time.
Milson. Diamond. Michael Payton is going to be on for Aberdeen shortly. He'll replace Scott Vernon, who has been playing on lately, even though he needs a hernia operation, which might well happen before the end of the season, now that Aberdeen seemingly are heading out of the cup. Sander Diamond stopped it reaching Anthony Stokes. It might have been offside anyway. Maguire. Gary Hooper. Stokes to his left, Commons to his right, as is McCourt. Brown.
Just don't have the legs at the moment to go and press the ball, Aberdeen.
Zaguirre.
A little bit intelligent there, Zaguirre. Had it still been 0-0, he'd have thrown that in first time. I think if you offered Craig Brown full time right now, he would take it. Damage limitation exercise now.
Phil Maloney for Anthony Stokes. Shadowed by young Ryan Jack. Izaguirre. Brown. Easy does it. Michael Payton still waiting to come on for Aberdeen. Celtic busy spraying about 300 passes around. He might have to wait for a while. Celtic are going to bring on Daniel Mastorovic as well, which is interesting because he's actually on a yellow card booked against Rangers. More on that in a moment, because here comes Payton at last. Actually scored in a 4-4 draw against Celtic last season. Been hopeful as to whether that might happen again. Scott Vernon goes on. It's ready to come on. But he will have to be careful, although I don't suppose there'll be a wave of Aberdeen attacks.
No, he's been round the block often enough to know when he can commit to a tackle and when to pull out. And they've missed him, Celtic. You know, for me, he's the dominant one in the Celtic back line.
Storovic broke his toe, was out for 5 matches. Giant Swede. Making a timely return ahead of next weekend's Old Firm game. And a bit of week match at Kilmarnock too. Gary Hooper is going off. Storovic on to see out these last 10 minutes or so.
Charlie Mulgrew stepping into midfield now.
Maluko. Smith. Celtic on the brink of their 54th Scottish Cup final. Nilsson. Smith. Maguire. Maguire's contract is up at the end of the season, and there may well be a few admirers out there. Izaguirre. Crew who started the scoring. Rogner. Ostorovic. Izaguirre. Maloney. Izaguirre. Shake off Ryan Jack.
His only concern now, Neil Lennon, will be picking up one or two injuries in what remains of the last 10 minutes or so.
Last time these teams met in this competition, Aberdeen won a replay at Celtic Park 2008, but being Aberdeen, they went on to lose to Queen of the South in the semis. Brown, McCourt, Wilson, Stokes, Aberdeen's throw. So the Diamond toiling, but rescued it.
Yeah, good pressure from Sean Maloney.
Jack. Commons, Brown, McCourt. Previous 4 meetings between the teams this season, Celtic won 9-0, 4-1, 3-0 and just 1-0. But this has been fairly emphatic again today. Aberdeen were never really going to survive the early red card for Considine.
No, there's no doubt that was a huge turning point in the game. I mean, I think the wise money would still have been on Celtic to win this tie, but Aberdeen had made a bright start to the game. It looked as if they had a bit more conviction about them today, but the sending off just turned the game on its head.
Brown for McCourt, who specialises in solo goals. Brown for Izaguirre. Stokes putting it through for Brown. Wilson and Sean Maloney pops it in. It has been a second-half stroll, an absolute romp for Celtic, who are eyeing the Scottish Cup for the first time in a while.
Well, they've had so much joy in that inside left channel second half. This time it's Scott Brown who makes the run into the channel. Nice little reverse here from Stokes. Brown doesn't get a chance to get his head up. He's just feeding it into an area where he's hoping there's a back post runner. Mark Wilson, I guess, is trying to score here. And it takes a nick off somebody front post, and, well, Sean Maloney can't quite believe his luck. Stevie Smith, it comes off. One touch enough for Sean Maloney. And Aberdeen's misery well and truly complete now.
Sean Maloney back from long-term injury for the run-in. Scores only his second Scottish Cup goal. The first was in 2002 against Alloa Athletic. Neil Lennon, eager to lift a trophy and still in the hunt for the double. Celtic trophy less last season for the first time in 7 years, and that can't be allowed to happen again. They don't have Rangers in their way in this competition, but they do have Motherwell, and they will give them a match. Jack now, Maguire waiting in the middle. Celtic eager to see it out with a clean sheet. The aggregate scores over the season now in the meetings between these two sides. 21 goals for Celtic, just one for Craig Brown's team. A feeling of déjà vu. Next Sunday, Easter Sunday, an Old Firm title showdown. It's Rangers against Celtic at Ibrox, and you can see it live from noon on Sky Sport HD1. 5 minutes left, but the game was up for Aberdeen a long time ago, although it was goalless at half-time. Aberdeen failing to recover from Considine's red card, and this has all been fairly predictable in the second half.
Yeah, it's a tired challenge here from Chris Maguire. Pretty good job, difficult job he's been asked to do today up there on his own.
Wilson. Commons. Storovic back for the run-in. Izagirre. Maloney. Izagirre. Stokes is waiting for a cross. Izagirre seems to slip.
Well, he's played as an old-fashioned outside left in the second half. Chris Commons is coming off the line. And Izagirre has played as a natural wide player. And he is your modern-day wing-back, is he not? Quick feet, cross as well, good recovery pace. Very few weaknesses in his game.
He has been nominated for the Scottish PFA Player of the Year award, led by his Gary Hooper. Scottish Cup winning feeling a few times as a player, 4 in all in fact. Wants that feeling again as a manager. Maloney's going to keep this in. Stokes. Maloney has McCourt nearby. Diamond, who'll be away from Aberdeen at the end of the season. Possibly to Hearts. Wilson. Maloney, who's enjoying his cameo since coming on. McCourt. Izagirre. Stokes. Commons. Might be a free kick for a push by Payton.
That's a needless one. This Commons nowhere to go there. Aberdeen just want to hear the full-time whistle and get back up the road. Another day to forget here at Hampden.
It's going to be a long road back. Grew takes it.
Good defending, Vujadinovic front post.
Celtic won the League Cup semi here against Aberdeen 4-1. Even more emphatic this time, but Aberdeen having to play most of the game with 10 men.
Well, the only downside for Neil Lennon today is the injury to Joe Ledley. That looks like a hamstring injury. And if that is the case, then I'd be surprised if he's okay for Ibrox next Sunday. But that apart, good job, well done for Celtic today.
Mulgrew over the top for Stokes. Can he keep it in his stride? Just about. Stevie Smith stopping Stokes. Fouled by Maguire. He was offside actually. From an offside position. And right on the 90, Willie Collin blows his whistle, and Celtic are through to the Scottish Cup final. Competition they haven't won since 2007. They will be back here next month to meet at Motherwell. Charlie Mulgrew got them going with a free kick against his former club. both his Celtic goals against Aberdeen now, and both here at Hampden. Joe Ledley got in on the act as well, scored in an English semi-final for Cardiff, now in a Scottish, but he's got a hamstring problem. Chris Commons from the penalty spot, and Sean Maloney added to Aberdeen's misery. It all went wrong for them after the early red card for Andy Considine. Second time he's seen red against Celtic this season, the third time that Aberdeen have had to play against them with 10 men. And there certainly was an air of predictability about the way the second half mapped out. It was a comfortable victory for Celtic, but Aberdeen will reflect on what might have been had they kept 11 on the field, David.
Yeah, red card changed the game, ruined the game for me. Celtic supporters won't agree with that, of course. They're just delighted to be in the final, but it would have been interesting to see how Aberdeen would have fared 11 against 11. They looked as if they had a bit more about them today, but you know, on reflection, another one to forget for Craig Brown and his players. But a good day for Neil Lennon, the double still on.
A massive week ahead, an emphatic victory here for Celtic. They go to Kilmarnock on Wednesday, and then it's the Old Firm match next Sunday at Ibrox. Scott Brown will be hoping to lift the SPL Trophy and the Scottish Cup this season. We shall see. Let's hear from the captain, Scott Brown, and Sean Maloney. They are with David Tanner.
Sean, Scott, congratulations. How did it feel to finally win?
Sallo from Sporting.